Welcome back, story lovers, to part 2 of our incredible tale. Last time, we left off wondering about the mysterious figure who haunted the village market at night, the one they called the Beautiful Thief. Well, tonight we dive deeper into the legend. One evening, as the last rays of sunlight disappeared and the market stalls fell silent, a brave young hunter named Obina decided he'd had enough. He wasn't going to run like the others. He hid himself behind a stack of woven baskets, his heart pounding in his chest, determined to see this thief with his own eyes. The air grew cold, and the night became so quiet you could hear a leaf fall. Then, just as the moon cast its silver glow over the empty square, a shadow moved. It was graceful, silent, and seemed to glide rather than walk. Obina leaped from his hiding spot, his spear held ready. "Who goes there?" he demanded, his voice trembling slightly despite his courage. The figure stopped and turned. It was a woman, more beautiful than any he had ever seen, with eyes that seemed to hold the stars themselves. She wasn't scared or startled. Instead, a gentle, almost sad smile touched her lips. "I am just a traveler," she whispered, her voice like the rustling of leaves, "and I take only what is needed." Before Obina could say another word, she moved like a wisp of smoke, and in a blink she was gone. He was left standing alone in the moonlight, trembling not from fear, but from the sheer wonder of what he had just witnessed. The next morning the village was buzzing. Obina's story spread like wildfire, finally reaching the grand palace. The king, who had grown tired of these nightly mysteries, listened with a deepening frown. His patience had finally snapped. He slammed his fist on his ornate throne, the sound echoing through the great hall. "Enough," he thundered. "This cannot continue. I want her captured, and I want her captured alive. Whoever brings me this beautiful thief shall be rewarded with gold, land, anything they desire." Immediately the kingdom sprang into action. The king's decree was posted in every village. The royal guard was tripled. Sophisticated traps, designed by the cleverest minds in the land, were laid all around the market. Nets were hidden in the treetops, tripwires were stretched across the paths, and guards disguised as merchants waited in the shadows. The entire village held its breath, certain that this would be the night the beautiful thief would finally be caught. But as dawn broke, they were met with disappointment. More food was missing, more supplies had vanished, yet not a single trap had been sprung. The guards had seen and heard nothing. It was as if a ghost had moved among them. Night after night, the same thing happened. The king grew more and more frustrated. The guards were exhausted and demoralized. The traps became more and more elaborate, but the thief remained as elusive as the wind. She continued to take only essential items, a bag of rice here, a bundle of herbs there, never jewels, never gold. It was baffling. Frustrated and at his wits' end, the king summoned the village elders to his court. These were wise men and women, with hair as white as snow and faces etched with the wisdom of generations. They sat before the fuming king, listening patiently as he recounted his failures. When he was finished, the oldest of them all, a woman named Adana, spoke. Her voice was quiet but carried a weight that silenced the entire court. "Your Majesty," she began, "have you considered that this is no ordinary thief?" The king scoffed, but she continued, "A thief who steals without greed, who takes only what is needed for survival, and who harms no one in the process. A thief who evades every trap without a trace, is guided by something more than simple hunger. This is not a matter of crime, but a matter of spirit." Her words hung in the air, planting a seed of doubt in the king's heart for the first time. He looked at the faces of his trusted advisers, and he saw not just frustration, but a glimmer of understanding. Could the elder be right? Was he chasing a common criminal, or was he fighting against something he didn't and perhaps couldn't understand? The mystery of the beautiful thief had just become a whole lot deeper. What was her true purpose? And what would the king do now? That's all the time we have for today, but the story is far from over. Make sure you resubscribed and have those notifications turned on so you don't miss part 3. We're going to finally uncover the secret behind the beautiful thief. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.